Hi, AJ Hartley here, novelist, Shakespeare professor, fan of lots of stuff, and it's New Year's Eve 2024. Thought I would do just a quick sort of recap and send out sort of good wishes to everybody who's been watching this channel for over the past year. If you have been keeping an eye on it, you'll have seen that this year I hit my 1 million views a couple of weeks ago. And for complicated reasons, that number has jumped quite a bit. I posted a little 15-second clip of Atarashi Gakko with Megan Thee Stallion back in March. It was just something that AG had posted on their Instagram page, and I reposted it here with a comment about, oh, look, this is Atarashi Gakko making sort of mainstream musical connections in the US.
Tokyo calling! Tokyo calling! Tokyo calling! Tokyo calling! Tokyo calling! Tokyo calling!
And initially nobody paid that much attention to it, but that number has risen massively. And I think, and I guess the little dance that they do to Tokyo Calling has recently become, or was already, I don't know, a dance in the game Fortnite, which I do not play. And people have just discovered this. So bizarrely, in the last couple of weeks, that video alone has got something like 150,000 views, which sort of distorts my overall channel, which is kind of, it's weird because obviously it's not a video I really made myself, and there's no real content to it, so it's not representative of the channel, but it has drawn some people to look at some of my other Atarashi Gakko videos, so I guess I'll leave it for now. Anyway, my point is, I did a little video a couple of weeks ago on the channel itself and what the channel has been doing. So I'm not going to do a lot of recap. If you have been watching this year, you'll have seen I've done a lot of stuff on music, on Japanese music specifically, some stuff on TV, UK and US TV. I've done interviews with Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 and Money Mark of the Beastie Boys, who was Atarashi Gakko's producer. I've talked about Atarashi Gakko live. I reviewed their show at Coachella. I reviewed them in Chicago. I reviewed Baby Metal in Charlotte. So there's been a lot of music stuff, but I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to rehash that stuff. I wanted to use today to talk about some of the stuff that I haven't talked about so much. I have done, as you will have noticed, some videos on writing and publishing. Both of those series are going to continue a little at least into the new year. The publishing series, I have a video with my agent coming up and a video with Falstaff, which is a small press based in the US. I'll post those in the new year. And I still have questions that I accumulated on the sort of ask me anything about writing kind of stuff. So I'm going to do at least one or two more of those fielding writing questions for the novelists among you. I also wanted to talk about what I have been doing as a writer over the past 12 months. And I worked on 3 books. The first thing I should say is there's a ton of stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about. A lot of that, hopefully, I will be able to talk about in the new year. But there's a lot of stuff that is still sort of under wraps. I'm not in control of some of these things. One of the things that I will not be talking about is one of the books that I was working on which didn't work out. It was a collaborative project. This was nothing to do with Tom or To the Stars or anything like that. But it was something that I spent a lot of the tail end of last year working on, and then, delivered right around the end of the year. And then there was sort of extensive conversations about editorial direction. And as I say, it was a collaborative project, and everybody involved had different ideas about where we were going to go with it. And it just didn't work out. And in the end, we ran out of time, or at least I ran out of time and had to sort of separate myself from the work, which I hate. I wanted to finish the project for the people who were involved in it, but it wasn't feasible. We just couldn't do it. And some of that's my fault. And Maybe I misunderstood what it was supposed to be, but yeah, we couldn't really come to terms, and so the project died, which is something that I don't think I've ever done before. I hate leaving something unfinished, and it was demoralizing. Writers always talk about their successes. They don't talk about the things that don't work, and when something really doesn't work, it takes its toll. It was quite depressing and frustrating, and left me kind of unsure of what I was going to get done in the year. So the fact that after that I managed to do 2 books was a big success. Now, as you know, in June, Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 and I published Trinity, which is a story about strange events happening in 1962 in Nevada, a novel about a UFO incident. And the book seems to have done well. I don't actually know how it has performed, but it seems to have done well. And Tom is currently developing it as a movie project. I don't know much more than that. I don't know that he knows much more than that, but it's in the works. So there's that. But I also, as I say, completed 2 other books. One of them was another book for Tom, which I can't say much about. It was not a Secret Machines book. People keep asking, when are you going to finish the Secret Machines series? And the answer is, I don't know. And it's not something that I can control. Secret Machines, as people know, was optioned by Legendary Entertainment for television, and it's been in development for, I don't know, a few years at this point. And we can't really continue with the books until the TV folk have sort of, if the show actually gets made, if it gets aired, then, and if it gets renewed, all these questions that take ages and are way beyond my pay grade. And those will influence the shape of the series. So, we're basically on hold as far as book 3 is concerned until we have a clear sense of what's going on. So the book that I wrote this year for Tom was not a Secret Machines book. It was not connected to any of the other things that To the Stars have published. So, and I can't say much about it. I don't know a release date. It may be next year, but I think there's a decent chance that it will be something like spring 2026. It's just the nature of the business. These things take time. And all I'm going to say is that it's a science fiction novel. It's set on Earth, and it involves time travel. That's all I'm saying. And it's cool. It's a fun story, and there's lots of interesting stuff in it. That's all I'm going to say. I also turned in my Julius Caesar edition, the edition of Shakespeare's play that I've been working on for 7 years for Arden. And everything has gone through. It's all been approved. We're now just into sort of the very final sort of copy editing, proofing, formatting issues. But I don't think the book is going to come out again until spring 2026, because this is the nature of publishing. It is the first of the Arden 4th series. The Arden are the big scholarly, authoritative editions of the plays. This is the 4th series. The first one, I think, came out in the 1890s. And they get redone every 30 years or so as scholarship changes and we discover new things about the plays. And the nature of the scholarly conversation changes, right, as we change. So this is exciting. This is an edition of the play that has never existed. And there are things in it that haven't been said before in editions. There are elements of the text which are a little different from anything that has been printed before. And it's just a contemporary take on the play and performance history and all the scholarship surrounding and everything. But as I say, it's not going to be out for a while. But it is mostly off my desk. And that's a huge thing. By the time it comes out, I'll have been working on it for 9 years. So that's the nature of these kind of things. They are career-defining publications for me as a Shakespearean. So that's that. The other thing that I have delivered to my US publisher is Hideki 2. As you will know, I published the first Hideki Smith Demon Queller book in September of 2023. It was up for a Dragon Award this year, and we are hoping that the new book, Hideki 2, will be out late next year, possibly in time for Dragon Con. I would love to be able to launch it at Dragon Con, where I have already been accepted as a guest, so I'll be there in Atlanta Labor Day weekend of 2025. And, you know, it would be nice if we could launch the book there as we launched the first book there last year. But I don't know. These things are subject to various internal forces within the publisher, and it's a question of how much work needs to be done on the edition once the editors have gone through it and see where it stands. I'm really pleased with the book. I'm excited about it. The people who have read it, who have spoken to me, have been excited about it. They think it's a little darker than book one, a little more adult, and reads a little bit more like a thriller, which I think is a good thing. I think it has more emotional weight as well. But I'm not gonna say too much about it right now. And hopefully you're gonna hear a lot more about that next year. There's also, and again, I'm limited as to what I can say, but it seems almost certain at this point that there will be a Japanese language edition of the book as well. The precise details are still sort of in flux. I don't know if it'll be out next year or the year after, but yeah. So, Hideki, Nihongo de Tanoshii ne. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. I love the idea of this book getting a Japanese language translation. And, you know, though I've published a lot of books in a lot of languages over the years, I've never had a Japanese translation before. So that's particularly exciting and cool. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. And I'll update you as soon as I have more details. That's about it. It doesn't sound like much, but 3 books in a year, I think is a lot. It's certainly as much as I can realistically manage. So there will be a lot more stuff coming next year. And I don't know what else I'm writing, where I'm going to go. I have a solo project planned that I'm still sketching out. I will probably be doing another book with Tom. And at some point in the course of the year, I'll probably start a 3rd Hideki. So another busy year to come. I don't know what my travel plans are yet. I am scheduled to be at a number of conventions and conferences and things in the course of the year, which I'll probably put on my website in case people want to stop by and say hi. As I said, I will be at Dragon Con, I'll be at Jordan Con, I'll be at Con Carolinas. I think that's all I've scheduled so far. So that's it. So look for more videos on writing and such in the new year. The music stuff tends to come and go depending on what gets released. I'm hoping to see a new Polka Dot Stingray album in the course of the year. I'm hoping to see a new Baby Metal album in the course of the year, so we'll have things to talk about there. And the rest, we shall see. You never know what you're going to get. For example, you might get Hitsuji Bungaku doing a cover version of the theme music from Shaun the Sheep.
You got to meet his fellow living there on the farm. Because he's very good on marrow, he's a king of the barn. When there's mayhem in the middle, he keeps his school on track. All his legendary adventures, they should put up a block. Cause Shaun the Sheep, he's Shaun the Sheep. He even makes a power with those who cannot breathe. Keep it in mind, 'cause I wanna make
I don't know what to tell you. Hitsuji Bungaku means sheep literature, so maybe this is why they connect to this particular thing. Shaun the Sheep is an offshoot of Wallace and Gromit, made by Nick Park of Oddman Entertainment. Nick Park is from Preston, my hometown, so this is a little indicator of various connections in my life. Preston to Tokyo. So there you go. All right, that's it. As ever, please like, comment, subscribe, Happy New Year. I hope the holidays have been good to you thus far, and I hope 2025 is good for all of us. Doesn't seem terribly promising at the moment, but who knows? Maybe at least we'll get some good music and some books out of it. Check out my books. Check out my Patreon page. My patrons are the only way that I make any kind of money directly off making these videos. So it's not overstating the case to say that without them, none of this would be possible. So thank you. I also have a few t-shirts and bits of things on my merchandise page. All these things are linked in the description for the video. All right, cheers. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.